This is our Day of the Dead art project. Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead, is a holiday celebrated in Mexico and by people of Mexican heritage around the world. During Day of the Dead, people gather to remember friends and family members who have died. Death is a natural part of the human cycle, and Mexicans view Day of the Dead not as a sad day, but as a day of celebration. People make ofrendas, or altars, honoring their deceased loved ones, and decorate them with their favorite foods, belongings, and photos. The calavera, or skull, is a common symbol of Day of the Dead. Sugar skulls are given as gifts and used as decorations. These bright, colorful skulls usually have names of deceased loved ones written on their foreheads and are a reminder that Day of the Dead is a happy holiday. We are going to make paintings inspired by Mexican sugar skulls. Write your name in the bottom right-hand corner of your paper, and then you'll get a skull-shaped stencil, which you will trace onto your paper. Now you can use a white colored pencil for this, or you can use regular pencils. The regular pencils can be erased if you make a mistake, but the white colored pencil is easier to see. So think about the pros and cons of using the white pencil versus the regular pencil. It's up to you. When your skull shape is traced, you can add the big eye holes. You can add the nose, which is basically an upside down heart. If you have trouble with that, just turn the paper upside down and draw a regular heart. And then you can add a mouth to your skull with teeth. When you add the details to your skull, think about how traditional Mexican sugar skulls are meant to make people happy and remind them of the good times that they had with their loved ones who passed away. Traditional Mexican sugar skulls usually have symbols from nature. They have lots of patterns, repeating shapes, colors, textures, lines, and they have bright, bright colors. Because Day of the Dead's a happy holiday, meant to remind you of the good times had with your deceased loved ones. So on your sugar skull inspired painting, you can add things that make you happy or things that remind you of your loved ones. You could even write somebody's name on the skull, as they do in Mexico. So my drawing is finished. Now I'm going to start painting my sugar skull. We have some fluorescent tempera paint. You'll see why we're using that at the end of the video. You'll also have your water bucket, your sponge, and there will be different sizes of paintbrushes to choose from because there are small details on your skull and you might need a smaller brush for those. So when you're painting your sugar skull inspired painting, you will take your time, show good craftsmanship. That means really do your best, especially if you worked really hard on the drawing part. You still want to take your time on the painting part so that it can look just as good as the drawing or even better. So even though I sped up the video, I'm really taking my time on this. And always remember, when you want to change colors, wash your brush off in the water and dry it on the sponge. So I'm just going to continue to paint my skull. In some parts of my skull, I let the paint dry and then I went over it with a different color of paint to add a little bit more detail. So you can do that too. And then at the end of the video, you'll see why we use the fluorescent paint. Because when you're done painting your skulls, we'll turn out the lights and you'll see what happens.